And welcome back to the greatest show on earth. I'm Angel.
I'm Junior.
I'm Jasmine.
And today we're going to be going over Dune Part 2.
Yeah, and we're going to be telling you if you guys should watch it or not. And we're going to be doing a non-spoiler and spoiler review. So make sure, desk poppers, that you stay to the very end because, yeah, we're going to be spoiling the shit out of this movie. And if you guys haven't noticed, we do have a special guest on the podcast. Daniel, unfortunately, is going to be gone for a minute.
3 weeks.
Yeah. Is he going to stay over there then? Like, he's not going to come back and, like...
No. He's dead for 3 weeks, he said.
So, Jasmine's going to be on. You guys have heard of her because I bring her up all the time on the podcast. She's the one that I go watch movies with, and she watches movies every week, so she's pretty caught up to speed. So I think she's professionally ready for this.
In the loop.
Yeah, she's in the loop. And then also we've gotten feedback that we need to have a female perspective on the podcast. So this helps.
What do you want to start with? Letter grade?
Yeah, dude, we can do letter grades.
So we talked about this before, like leading up to the movie. We watched Dune Part 1 just to get caught up with Dune Part 2.
We all watched it. So
just so it made sense for us.
Well, I was telling her when we were watching the movie, I was like, dude, I'm so happy that we watched it. Like, we watched the first one right before we watched the second one, because like I would have been so out of the loop.
I told Daniel the same thing, and when we were sitting there in the theater, he said, he's like, I should have rewatched the first one.
Oh, he went with you?
Yeah, we went together.
Damn.
On Friday.
Are we doing the theater experience first?
No.
Okay.
What's your letter grade?
I'm gonna give it an A minus.
I'm at a solid A.
I would say a solid A as well.
Damn. Okay, well, we also do the professionals on here. Do we have...
Yes, so the critics gave it a 94% and the audience gave it a 95%, and then the cinema score was an A. Solid A.
Dude, reviews are outstanding.
They're outstanding for this movie.
Pretty much.
I will say this, I liked it better than the first one.
Nice. Me too.
I agree as well.
Yeah.
I just think it was more action-packed than the first one was, because the first one's like a setup of it. Right?
It is. I was about to say, I feel like it set up the movie a lot more than... You know, like Infinity War, I wouldn't call it like a setup, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it can be its own movie, but I really feel like Dune Part 1 is like a setup of the movie.
Well, I feel like a lot of movies that do these like trilogies and stuff, they should not like follow the same blueprint, but they did it right to where, you know, if you know you're doing a second part and a third part, you use the first two movies as a setup.
Well, I feel like the first movie was more of a setup than the second movie.
No, I know,
the third movie is gonna be okay. So I don't know if you guys know what happens in the third movie or like in the second book, but like the third movie is gonna be like a whole different thing.
Yeah, even the title is
Dune the Messiah.
Dune the Messiah,
Something like that.
And that's like another book separate from Dune. That's what I was reading about. So they were saying like if you want to understand it, then read the Messiah before you go see the movie.
Nice. You think you're gonna read the book?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, like I wanna. So a lot of people tell me that Dune, like the book, is like the Godfather of sci-fi. You know,
Yes.
like a lot of sci-fi movies take from Dune. Like it's the way that Lord of the Rings is for fantasy. You know, like it really built the fantasy world, and Dune really built the sci-fi world. But I also want to bring up, since we're talking about grades, I don't know if it is at the moment, but at some point last week, it was the highest rated movie on IMDb of all time.
I think it was like earlier this week.
Yeah, I don't know if that's changed because obviously, you know, people like rate movies, but that's crazy that out of every single movie that's ever existed, it was the highest rated at some point.
Why do you give it an A minus though? Just curious.
Oh, you know what? We'll talk about that with the awards because it is award season, baby, and the Oscars are March 5th, and the Oscars for us for Dune is right now.
The Oscars they're not March 5th, are they?
Yeah, they're next Sunday.
That's not March 5th.
Okay, March 7th.
No, it's like March.
What's today? The 3rd, 7th, 10th. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, dude, it's not the 5th.
Yeah,
The 5th
I got
is
my
like
dates
Tuesday, my
wrong. It's award season, so we're gonna be talking about the MVP from Dune Part 2. What's his name? Javier Stilgard. Is that him?
Stilgard.
Yeah, I was telling her he's so funny, bro. He just like makes me laugh. He was a great character. Who's your guys' MVP?
Mine was between Javier and Timothy, but I think I'm gonna give it to Timothy.
Yeah, I was gonna say Timothy too. He did a great job.
Yeah.
I actually don't have experience seeing him in acting at all. That's the first movie I've seen him in.
Really?
And because I've seen him like all over media and stuff. So it was the first time I actually watched a movie with him in it.
Yeah.
Have you watched movies of him before? What movies has he been in?
I just watched Wonka.
Okay,
But that was
I haven't watched Wonka. You didn't watch it,
But
right?
No,
You didn't watch it.
I haven't seen
like it's a complete 180. Wonka compared to this, like it's you.
He's been in Call Me by Your Name. I think I see him a little bit in Interstellar. He's the kid. He plays
is he?
Matthew. Yeah, he's in it. Just like he's not even in it. He's in it in like TV format. Like
Yeah, when he's rewatching the scene.
yeah
Okay.
and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I mean, he might be in it too in the beginning as a kid, but
No way he's in Interstellar.
yeah, he is. Timothy.
How old was he?
2012. So however old he was in 2012, or like.
Dude, he must have been like 4 or 5 years old.
No, he's older than that. He was a teenager. He's probably like 17. He's like our age.
No.
100%. Look up somebody who's the fact checker. Oh yes.
I believe you.
What she was looking that up. He was also in Lady Bird. I've seen that. He played. He's also in you've seen him. You have
He's
seen him.
28.
Oh, he's 28, so he's our age. He's in Free the Woman, the Little Woman.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
he is.
yeah.
Duh, okay. So then that's the first movie I saw him in, but I didn't put that together.
Yeah, you see, he has all these he has a range. I think he has range, but we're gonna give out the anti-MVP of Dune Part 2, the worst character. For me, it's funny because it's between Timothee and Zendaya. Like for me, yeah, just because there was a scene where Zendaya was like, I hurt Zendaya. Like, I don't know if you guys ever do that. Like, it's like Ryan Reynolds. Like when you see him in a movie and he's playing like a whole different character, sometimes you just hear Ryan Reynolds, right? Yeah. Like he has that distinct voice. Zendaya also has that distinct voice. And there was a point where I heard Zendaya instead of hearing like a sci-fi movie, like they're on another world. I was just hearing Zendaya, and it was just really hard for me to it took me out of the movie, I guess.
Okay.
And that's how I felt. Like Zendaya's a great actress, but sometimes I hear Zendaya. Like she has a very distinct voice, and I don't know if that makes sense. But it's like with Ryan Reynolds, like Pikachu. Like that movie sometimes took me out because Pikachu sounded like Ryan Reynolds, and like obviously you know what Ryan Reynolds sounds like. But who are you guys' anti-MVP?
For me, I'd have to say the priestess mother.
The Reverend Mother,
Reverend Mother.
Timothy's
Yes.
mom.
Yes.
Paul's mom.
I don't know. Mine's like hard. I think I don't really like want to downplay him, but Austin Butler, I didn't like his character because I've seen him in so many different roles in other movies, and I love him as an actor. But him playing that role, it kind of just threw me off. Like I was like, this isn't really.
It didn't give you like
cup of
it
tea.
vibes.
Like I feel like he always plays like a happy and charming character. I don't know.
You haven't watched it?
I think
Never seen it.
I was reading about that on Twitter, and a lot of people were. He's a Disney Channel star.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, he is, bro. No. Oh, it was, dude. You know who I'm mixing him up with? The guy from It. That's why I brought up It. He's not the guy from It.
No, he's not.
No,
That's
he's
all
not. I'm so sorry.
No, it's
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, he's not in It. I'm mixing him up with Bill Skarsgård's son.
Yeah.
He was also in the movie. That's what I thought
They
it was.
look similar, actually.
They do, not thinking about it. No, I'm so sorry about that. That was, yeah, it is. He is a Disney kid.
Yeah, he's a Disney kid. So I think at the end of the day, people that grew up watching him on Disney, no matter how much stuff you see him in, like subconsciously, you're gonna see him as a Disney kid.
Yeah, but he also did Elvis, man. He's really.
I know, and he killed it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you watched Elvis, but it was pretty good.
I watched.
Such a good movie.
Yeah, I watched like the first 10 minutes, and then I probably fell.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like he always plays like a charming character. So, like, to see him in this like villain era, I was like, what is this?
Who is this?
And he's bald, so I was like, what?
Yeah, it looked like he shaved his head for that. Like,
I also give my A minus. We'll talk about it more in the spoilers, but I also want to give my anti MVP to Timothy just because, like, what kind of name is Paul? Like, I was telling her about this. I was like,
Part of the book. You can't just.
but like, so you got like your chosen ones, right? You got Anakin, you got Luke, you got Jesus, and now you got Paul. You know, like, are you gonna tell me Paul's gonna save the universe?
well,
You know,
even his dad, like his name is Leto.
was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I
Like
think,
Leto?
like Jared Leto.
He was. Oh, I was gonna say like my compa Leto.
No, like Leto. So it's like Leto and then Paul.
Yeah.
Like-
and I'm just like, bro, you got like all these cool names from like the
Like even their last name, like Atreides. Like
yeah, Atreides, you know?
how's it Paul Atreides?
Yeah.
Well, even his mom is just Jessica. Right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, mom's just Jessica.
So you know what though? I'm not gonna give him too much flack because they made the book in 1965. So the author was probably like, what should I give these people the names? And he was just looking at his like newborns or like his neighbor. He's like, Paul.
Paul.
Well,
Paul's a good name.
especially that year, it's probably such an easy name to just choose for it. So,
But like, I feel like all the other characters had like the what are they called, the Firkins? I don't want to say the Farron. I don't want to say cuss words. So I'm like like what I say a derogatory comment by accident because I don't know what the word is. Yeah, the Farron.
yeah.
Don't they have like Sogard and what was Zendaya's character's name?
Starts with the C.
Cloud Chaser?
You see, it's because Daniel is the one on the phone and like this.
I forget what it was, but she didn't like it.
If you go on Letterboxd, it's just like right below them. It's like really easy on Letterboxd to look it up. This is our first Horny on the Timeline award. Playa with Jasmine. Have you seen that segment?
I don't think
So we give the horniest character.
Chani is her name.
Shawnee. You see, like that's unique.
And
But
she hates it. She said.
oh yeah.
Yeah, in the
because
movies.
It's part of the prophecy or whatever.
Yeah.
She didn't want to like follow it.
But we'll talk about that in the spoilers, so make sure you guys stay tuned. But the horny on the timeline award, I'm gonna give it to Timothy and Zendaya because that's
You have
sexy.
to, okay, so you have to give it to one though. I'm throwing a
Zendaya.
flag on that one. I'm giving it
I'm
to
a
Zendaya
Zendaya.
too.
Yeah, don't do Timothy like that.
Yeah, well, because like also Zendaya was like
She was the one defending him.
Yeah.
The whole time.
the whole time.
Like everyone in the, what would you call it? The tribe, the clan. They're like, man, that guy's an outsider. We don't like him. And she's like, he's not so bad. Not
So bad. He's all right. I would have sex with him. Yeah, she was definitely the horniest on the timeline. Award playa.
Yeah, Timothy's the close second though. So
Yeah, he's a very close second. Javier though, Sogard, he's the funniest. I really do.
He is the
Legit,
funniest.
I really loved him just because like before we get into the theater experience, just because like the whole time he was like, he's the Messiah. There was even a scene where he was like, Timothy came out, he's like, I'm not Jesus, I'm not the Messiah, whatever, and he's like, he's so humble.
Yeah.
Of course the Messiah will say he's not the Messiah. I'm like,
Oh, wasn't he the one that gave him a new name?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did, right? Yeah. Oh my god. Just Sogard is like the biggest hype man, and that's the kind of friend I want to have, you know?
He's
like
well, not to spoil it too much, but like he's blinded by religion.
yeah.
Like 100%.
But we will talk about theater experience. You said you went with Daniel.
We went on Friday to AMC. It was packed.
Yeah.
Like super packed.
Did you
And,
both find tickets or like
Yeah, we were able to find tickets. We bought them on time. Honestly, like the theater experience kind of sucked because for whatever reason they turned up the heat.
Oh, okay. They're gonna
And
say
we
the
were
sound.
like, dude, we were like in there sweating.
They were like, it's a cold night, guys. Turn up the thermostat.
Like it was to the point where we were like taking off our hoodies because it was just
That's
I don't
how
know.
I felt when we saw with your friends. We went to that movie and it was so hot in there. What
With
was
Guillermo?
it? Yeah,
Which one did we? We watched a pretty big movie.
I can't remember, but it was hot like that too, and I had
Madam
to like
Web.
take
Madam
off.
Web.
Yeah, I had to
That's
take
the
off my hoodie. It was so hot in there.
yeah.
I feel like they just do that sometimes.
Our movie was also very packed. We bought tickets like couple days before, and like the whole middle section was like full, you know, like it was like just packed. There was a line to get in. Like as soon as I walked
Yeah,
in, there was a
I've
line.
seen.
I'm like, okay, that's how busy it's gonna be, you know, like it's people are like out here watching this movie.
But
Did,
our actual row wasn't that full. Did you notice that?
Oh yeah, no, you
Yeah.
know, I did that on purpose.
Oh, okay.
I saved all the seats.
They did the same thing.
Yeah, I was like, with the AMC Plus, sponsor us, please.
We had people cheering at the end of our
No, I was waiting for. I wanted to cheer so bad at the new Nicole Kidman ad. I wanted to be like Nicole Kidman, but like
Yeah.
I didn't want to be that guy. But I was like,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think a lot of people might like people who casually go to the movies probably didn't notice it's a new ad.
but I noticed.
I noticed.
I noticed.
No, yeah, people at the end of our movie cheered. They're like, yeah, and I was like, shut up. And then Daniel like burst out laughing, and I was like, oh,
Did you
crap.
actually say that?
Yeah.
Oh, you're so funny.
But I said it like in Spanish. I was like, shut up.
Oh my God. That's in English though.
And then like
Oh, yeah.
Daniel just like it caught him off guard, so he started laughing, and then everyone went quiet. I was like, oh shit, they heard me.
They just look back at you like this motherfucker.
But other than that, I feel like the theater experience was pretty good.
I really wanted to get that Dune popcorn. Like I was like this close to like, but it was sold out.
The bucket, they
Just
had it
because I
on
wanted to
Friday.
bring it for the podcast and just be like,
They had
Like,
it on,
I got it.
They had it on Friday.
really? Yeah. You guys went to AMC?
Yeah, we went to the Westminster.
They probably restocked it for the next day though.
They probably have been restocking like every day.
Yeah. But you know, Dune Part 2 is a really special movie too because right after the movie, I asked her to be my girlfriend.
Oh, nice.
So that was when I
That's
did it.
cute.
Yeah.
On
so,
leap year.
Crazy.
So now we don't have to celebrate for 4 more years.
Yeah. So awkward. But yeah,
Box office.
box office.
The numbers are pretty crazy. We kind of talked about
Give
this
it to me.
before we started recording. I totally forgot that Dune Part 1 was supposed to come out in 2020. It was one of those movies that got delayed for the pandemic.
This movie got delayed too.
Yeah.
Like 3 times.
Yeah, Dune Part 1 was originally scheduled to release in 2020. The pandemic pushed it back to beginning of 2021.
Yeah.
So it's one of those movies that came out in like, you know, part theaters, part streaming, like straight to streaming. That movie did $425 million.
Which is impressive for a hybrid. I think.
Yeah,
I
that's pretty.
think.
That's pretty good for a hybrid because people didn't have to go to the theaters to watch it; they could have watched it at home. What do you think the budget for Dune Part 2 was?
I'll let you answer that.
I have no idea.
What do you,
We usually just take a guess.
yeah, just take a guess.
So what was the first one you said?
For the budget, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But
I don't know. I don't know how to budget movies, to be honest.
Okay, so then give us a number because that'd be great. If you don't know the budget, I want to hear like what you think it would cost.
I don't know.
$50.
She's
I was
like,
gonna say like $1 million.
oh my gosh. Imagine if it's $1 million. I'm going to assume like 100, 200 million.
200
Yeah.
million? Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm going to say like 200.
You're like almost spot on.
Okay, how much?
It was 190.
Damn.
God.
Yeah.
$190 million.
Yeah, so usually I would say like for these big blockbuster movies, it's usually like 100 to 200. Lisa Frankenstein was probably like 20 million, the one we watched.
25.
Yeah,
I think it was
so that's
25.
like
That makes
a
sense.
that's
Okay.
like
I
a
can see the
smaller
range
budget.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, just to give you like a little. You know what though? Surprisingly, Madam Web was like 70.
Okay.
Yeah, just to give you like a little bit of context.
Yeah, I'm
of like,
surprised by that. Well, I feel like
or like 70 to 90.
with Frankenstein, I guess it makes sense with like, I feel like they had more props and
Yeah.
things like that than that's
This was definitely
interesting,
way
though.
more
I would
CGI.
think Madam Web would have been different.
So as of this recording,
Yeah.
this movie is at $75 million domestically. So that's just like in the United States.
Uh-huh.
75 million domestically, 42.5 internationally.
Really? That's
As of this
Are
recording.
you sure? I thought I read somewhere that it was almost like at 200 million.
No, I've got it pulled up.
No, I believe you. I just like I was like, damn, I thought I was making more money.
No, it's projected to make.
Oh, it's
once-
that. Oh, it's Sunday. It's Sunday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
It just
through the
got
weekend, it's
Yeah.
it's projected to make over 200 million
Like all together.
altogether. Yeah,
Do you think it's gonna hit $1 billion?
I think so, easily.
Yeah, I
This
think
is
so
the first
too.
billion movie of the year. You know what? It's so funny because if you look at our movie preview for beginning of the year, every single movie that was brought up, he was like, I think this is the first blockbuster of the year, and he would just keep saying that for the movies. But I think this is like actually the first blockbuster of the year.
100%.
Easily.
I
Like-
think we talk about it with the movie experience. It's easy to tell like you said, we walked into the theaters and there was a line to get in.
Yeah.
And like you could see like how packed the theater is, and it's because people are there for a certain movie.
Do you know what was the biggest movie of the year so far before Dune?
Before Dune,
Yeah. We watched the movie. We've all watched this movie.
Let me take a guess. Did it come out February or January?
January.
Book of Clarence?
No.
That's what my guess was too.
The Beekeeper.
Really?
Yeah, it was the biggest
No
movie.
way.
Yeah, it was. I read it.
Numbers wise, you're talking about.
Yeah,
right?
number wise. Yeah,
okay.
It was the biggest movie of the year. So
Wow.
That's
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, so that was like the first like blockbuster.
I thought that
like,
came out in February.
Maybe.
Like, beginning of February.
I feel like the theater wasn't that packed though when we went and saw
No.
it.
no, because it was the second movie we watched.
The theater
No.
wasn't packed when we
Yeah, it
went.
wasn't. But we watched it back to back.
Yeah, that is true. And
Yeah.
it was a later movie
Yeah.
too. Okay.
Yeah, I think Dune Part 2 will make $1 billion easily.
Yeah.
If the first part made almost $500 million with the pandemic, I think this easily will clear that.
Hopefully, man. We need the movies to come back. That does bring us to the sponsor of the video.
Despop.
That's us, baby. Guys, we've been doing a great job. We just hit 1,300 on YouTube, and that's me like not trying. Like we have not like I'm okay, not trying, but like not posting as much as I posted from like 0 to 1,000. You know?
Yeah.
So I appreciate that, guys. Make sure you guys subscribe. Do you have anything to say about the podcast? It changed your life, or
I mean, I've like told a lot of people at work about it and whatnot too. So
guys, we're also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. If you guys see us on there, make sure you rate us a 5. Or
Yeah, if watching isn't your thing and you just like to listen to a podcast, you could always listen to us at work, on your
At
way to
school.
work, at school,
at the house when you're cleaning.
at the house when you're cleaning,
working out.
working out.
Working out, when you gotta like instead of those norteñas or whatever, when you clean Saturday mornings, you put on the podcast, and
Exactly.
you teach the kids early that when you hear our voices, it's time to clean. You just hear like Angel's voice first thing in the morning. You're like, no, we gotta clean.
Put it as your alarm.
Yeah, I wake up to the sound of Daniel and Angel in the morning. But yeah, guys, I appreciate it. Make sure you give this video a like or a thumbs up or whatever, and subscribe to the channel because we need to stop working and I need to support
Please.
Jasmine. Okay. Well, we are at the spoiler part of the video.
Wing.
Lido.
That was weak.
Well, I was gonna see what sort of sound she
If
made.
you just went like that, you usually go, you bring it in.
Is that
Yeah,
your
so
note?
let me ask you, what did you think of the runtime?
Dude, it was a long movie. No, but I love the runtime. Like, okay, so the reason why
The runtime.
The reason why I gave it a minus is because I felt like they introduced characters like way into the movie, dude. Austin Butler, I didn't see him until like halfway into the movie.
It was more than halfway into
Yeah,
the movie.
dude,
Me
and,
and, me and Daniel checked.
That's great. I'm glad you said that. So I just didn't like that part. I want to see like if they're the main villains, I want to see them at the beginning. There's a reason why that's a thing you do in movies. You show the villains.
You build them up.
Yeah. You show them at the beginning. So they showed, she missed the first 10 minutes of it. Spoiler alert. I should have brought that up for the theater experience. But they showed the princess and the emperor, like first thing, right? Mm-hmm. We get introduced to them. We know who they are. They're big characters, right? They should have done the same thing with Austin Butler's character, because I feel like he was really prominent in the books. Maybe, was he?
I think that he does show up kind of abruptly like that.
Yeah.
I read something about it. I can't like remember on the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure like he's introduced like that on purpose. Yeah.
Like it was a thing. Well, even if it was on purpose, it was a bad decision.
You could always switch it up from the books.
Yeah, you can. But look, I really do want to ask this question just for the likes on TikTok. But what was the worst thing about Dune Part 2 for you guys?
Dave Bautista's character. I'm sorry.
Oh, why? What happened?
I just thought he was going to have more of a big impact in the movie.
Why wasn't your anti-MVP?
I don't know. We're doing it for TikTok, you said.
Okay. What about you?
I don't know. I think, well, like I said before, like it's not a typical movie I would watch. So I did have to do some more research about it because I didn't understand really the timeline of things. And I think it was a lot for me to like watch because I watched the first part and then I was like, okay, now I have
5 hours of runtime. Like,
yeah, it's a very complex movie. And I think it was just hard for me to understand, like,
because obviously you guys gave it an A. So I want to know why that A+ wasn't in the range.
For me, it was that first hour of the movie.
Yeah, it was a lot just of building up.
Not even building up. It was just the lack of, I guess, of building up. Because me and Daniel, when we go watch a movie, we always look at the runtime. So we're always like, okay, let's see. Like, we time what the time the movie starts. We're like, okay, the movie started at 9:27. We'll check back at 10:27 and we'll see like how much has happened in this hour. So we do that with every movie, and we did that. We checked the hour mark and we're like, dude, it's been an hour, and we feel like nothing has really
like progressed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. So if you've done that, what happened at the hour mark? Where was it at? Just so I have an idea. If you
the hour mark was right about like Dave Bautista's character touches down on a planet, and his uncle's like, you know, you better like not mess up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Like this is your last chance.
Yeah. Like.
Yeah. So it was right before Austin Butler's character.
Yeah, Piers. Yeah, I think honestly the worst part for me, because it was such a great movie, was Timothee and Zendeya. And not even because they weren't even that bad because I gave it an A-, but like it's just hard to see them in like this action role, I guess.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy Timothee got like this movie, because like I really do think I watched the 1984 movie. You know what's funny? That movie was said to be the worst movie of 1984. Like when it came out,
really?
Like the critics said it was the worst movie. I sent her a couple clips of it.
Where did you watch it? Is it on streaming?
On HBO Max. Yeah. So like right after we finished Dune Part 1, obviously like it recommended it for me. So I was like, let me just like quickly just like I didn't watch it because obviously like
you skipped it in part.
Yeah. But I just want to see like the movie. So I watched this scene from Dune Part 1 where the dad poisons the Baron. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Baron?
The Baron.
The Baron. So that's the scene I watched. Dude, completely different. Like honestly, you can tell it was made in the 80s because the effects were just so
bad.
They look like Robo blocks.
Yeah.
Like the battle, like they like form into like one block.
Yeah. So like, you know, the shields they have?
Yeah.
They pretty much just made it like, so that's not actually CGI. He drew it in, like, you know, like they actually drew it in for each scene. It's just like a Robo blocks pretty much. It looks so bad, but I don't even know where I was going with that. Oh, I know what I was going to say. So I think if this movie did a good job in the 70s or 80s or whatever, I think it would have been bigger franchise than Star Wars. I really do think that Dune had a potential to be a bigger franchise than Star Wars.
I was going to go into that. I've been seeing that a lot on Twitter these last couple of days. People are saying that Dune is this generation's Star Wars.
And I think it has the potential to be.
It has the potential.
I'm really happy it came out in 2020 now with no like real hype, like and no real like it's just a 1984 movie, but even that movie is so bad that like people don't even remember it. So I'm really happy that this is what we have.
You know Dune, like the original one, is one of those movies that you find like at Walmart for like $1.
In that bin, you're like
It's on discount. You're like, oh, $5.
I might check it out.
But I think it does have the potential to be this generation's like Star Wars.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think it was more entertaining than Star Wars because I watched Star Wars as a kid, but it's not like memorable for me.
Really?
Well, yeah, no, seriously. Like I didn't enjoy it that much. But like watching Dune, it kind of like brought this up because like I'm a nerd about some things, but when I watched Dune, I was like, okay, this is a good movie. Like it's my number one that I put on Letterboxd, and I told everyone at work about it too. It's kind of got me into like a new genre of movies that I forgot that I like watched as a kid, I guess. So.
That's cool. I mean, I love Star Wars, so it's like...
I like Star Wars.
Yeah. I was telling her, the one thing that I hate... Well, I was also telling a lot of people, the one thing I hate about sci-fi movies is just that if I don't get into it right away, I'm not going to understand it. Because, like, it has so many, like, different names for things, like spice, the different peoples, the Atreides, the Harkins, the Farrens. Like,
the Atreides is a family.
No, I get that. But I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of names for things, right? So when you're building this world, obviously the people who build it, like, need to come up with, like, original names and stuff like that. So like when you're watching the movie like this and you can't get into it right away, you're pretty much lost. And that's what I kind of hate about sci-fi movies.
I do like that the first one, Dune Part 1, the one from a couple years ago, it did set up all that stuff.
It did. And
like
that's why I told her I'm really happy we watched it like right before, because if not, I would have been lost.
Yeah, because it tells you why spice is important, who House of Atreides is, the planet,
the other 5 houses too, and like the important stuff,
the
and
Baron, the Emperor.
Yeah, I'm really funny that we didn't watch that, like see the Emperor in the first movie, because he's really big. Like he's a big like.
Well, he's above the Baron.
Yeah, and also he was the first. He was the first or second person shown in the original one. You know.
Yeah.
So that's why I also watched the original one, because I want to see what was like important.
Yeah.
And from like, because I'm assuming the original one like really took from the book, and yeah, like the princess gets shown like right away. She was also one of the first ones, and that was pretty much a scene from the first movie, was the first scene in the second movie. But I like that they did that. That was a really great change, because I was telling her they were smart, because they got all the big actors that died in the first movie, and they're like, we don't got to pay them for the second movie, so we can get more big actors for like other characters, like the Emperor and Florence Pugh as the princess.
Well, like you said too, that they showed the princess in the first and the second one. That's what they do in the books too. So they start with like a quote from what the princess says in both of them. So I think that is cool that they did that with the movie as well. So.
They also showed like the princess like just.
So is she like well, obviously she's gonna become an emperor one day. Is she just like but she was wearing the same thing like the Reverend Mothers were wearing?
Oh yeah.
Oh, like she was a Reverend Mother, I guess, or
yeah, like is she?
No, so we were talking about this. So like this is also part of the world, right? So you have like the Reverend Mothers, or like the people who have like special abilities where they can like use the voice and they can see into the future and stuff like that. And I guess that's what was special about Paul, is that he also had these powers, but he was a boy. So like when he drank the poison, they were like, oh, a guy's never done it. This was started like centuries before. Like the Reverend Mothers made this prophecy, and I was like, I wonder if that's happened on for like us. I wonder if people were like, we can start a new religion. Or what, like, I'm not saying Christianity or anything like that, but like imagine like somebody did that. They were like, I bet you we can start Christianity if we just like put rumors of a Messiah, and then like they just built somebody up, because that's pretty much what they did. They made rumors that they knew they could control. The way Paul was like, oh, like he was like, oh, she can drink the poison. Like she was trained to do that. And they're like, oh, he's being so humble, whatever, Well,
I feel like the same thing with like Egypt. They have hieroglyphics and things like that. And they show that in the movie in Dune, like when she becomes a Reverend Mother. Do you remember? Like in the cave, it showed like the prophecy or whatever in pictures. Exactly. So I feel like it also relates to history and whatnot as well. Because I feel like in Egypt, they did things like that. Yeah. They followed the traditions for so long.
But like those traditions were set by them, like by the mothers. That's crazy. Like, I don't know, just the amount of like precision that you have to go through to like just make that prophecy come through is wild.
I like how Florence Pugh's like the princess. Yeah. She questions everything the Emperor does. And she's like, wait, like you sent House of Atreides to get killed? And they're like, yeah.
Yeah, of course, motherfucker.
Yeah. Like they were out of line.
Yeah, you gotta... Oh, it's so funny, because they were like, there's no way he survived. He's dead, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Nobody lives in the South. It's uninhabitable. And they're like, shit. My favorite part of the movie, though, I want to see what the best thing was from Dune Part 2 for you guys. But for me, it was when they rode the worm.
They rode the worms.
Yeah, that was the best part. It was so sick.
It was.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
I mean, honestly, I kind of had to like suspend some disbelief or whatever. Is that how you say it? Because like the way they did it was a little weird, because like, I don't know. It's just hard for me to see like everybody getting on. Because like, how he put the thing on the sand, and then the worm came and he just like rode on top of it. When they did that to like ride all the way to the south, I'm like, I wonder how they get all those people on there. Like even the old people who are like,
yeah,
just jump on
Just
it.
hold on.
Yeah. I was like, I wonder, you know.
Without flying off.
Yeah.
Because like at least the guy like driving the worm, I guess.
Yeah,
he got
he's
the
like,
hook.
yeah, he's like, he's like, and I'm like the air resistance and the,
Dude, those things are huge.
yeah, bro.
It's funny when they're showing him the ride.
Yeah.
He's like, call a big one, and he's like, dude, not that big, like not the passes, like.
They were like, oh, well, they even said there was like the prophecy said he was gonna get the biggest one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is this, bro?
What
What prophecy?
prophecy?
Yeah. But like that's what I'm telling you. Like they have so many prophecies about the Messiah, and he was just checking all the boxes. But like he was supposed to check all the boxes because that's like what was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say I really love this movie too because the plot twist. The plot twist. I love a good plot twist. The plot twist got me, and I loved it so much. Do you know what the plot twist I'm talking about is?
I'm trying to remember.
Is it him marrying the princess?
No.
Or okay.
It's his lineage. He finds out what his lineage is. Do you know what his lineage is? Because I forgot what they were
Oh,
called.
when they're
When he drinks the poison, he he sees into the past and he realizes that his mom is the daughter of the Baron.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a Harkin, right? Or what they called?
Harkonnen.
Harkonnen.
Harkonnen? Yeah.
Harkonnen.
Harkin. I was gonna say Heron, but I'm like all these
So the
names.
Baron is his uncle.
Yeah. And that's why he said, "What's up, cousin?" Like
Austin Butler's.
no, like in Black Panther, it's like, "What's up, cousin?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, cuz?
What's up? What's his name? What's his name?
Killmonger.
I got nothing on the name. No, but his real name, Michael B. Jordan. Yeah. I was like, I got nothing on the name.
He doesn't say what's up, cousin.
Yeah. What does he say? Sup, cuz?
What's up, auntie?
Oh, yeah. He's talking to his aunt. You're right.
Stupid.
You're like the Simpsons. Like, but yeah, no, that was my favorite plot twist, man. I really like when that happened. I was like, damn. Like, no matter what happens, both lineages like are gonna survive.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Timothy hated because he wanted to wipe out the Harkins or whatever. And he's like, fuck, like I'm screwed no matter what because I don't know, like the way I thought this was going to end, like in the second movie was he was going to be like, you know what though? They're not going to survive and just kill himself. I thought that's what was going to happen.
You thought Timothy was
Gonna kill himself, yeah.
No.
Really?
Because I thought he hated the Harkins so
shot.
much because like he hated them because they killed like his dad, you know,
Yeah.
like they came out. So I thought he was gonna be like, I hate them so much. I don't want their lineage to like move on. He's gonna kill himself. But you also told me something happened in the book between Zendaya and Paul, or where?
Oh yeah, so they actually are supposed to have a kid,
Yeah, in the
and
book.
they didn't include it into the movie. So they were supposed to have a kid before he goes like to war, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then their kid dies, but instead
in the
it's
womb
her-
or like in.
No, like it's born and then
Oh.
it's killed.
Okay,
Basically, I think it gets murdered. I don't remember by who, but instead Zendaya's friend, that's like really close to her in the movie, they replaced with her dying.
Oh, okay, like she's the one that
Yeah,
died
yeah,
instead. They were like, we don't want that many deaths. Let's just kill her off.
Yeah, I just think it was such a quick thing. Like they had their baby and then it died so quickly, so they just didn't want to include it.
Yeah, because it wouldn't make a lot of sense.
You know, they was doing a lot of fucking in that movie.
Who else fucked?
Zendaya and
Oh yeah, but
Timothy.
that was the only fucking.
I know, but they did it like if I had a nickel for every time they did it,
They did it twice.
I'd have like 3 nickels.
They did it three
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
3 nickels.
I guess I wasn't even paying attention to sex scenes because I was.
Well, because I feel like they would show the aftermath of
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
They were just like hot and sweaty, and we're like,
yeah.
yeah.
you like that one, like,
I'm like, damn, dude, like, come on.
come on.
But I also read too that like Zendaya's character, like I keep forgetting like their actual name in Dune. But
I know Paul for sure.
But like she just like lusted over him. Like
Yeah.
I guess in the book she's not really like in love with him. Like she just loves him because he's doing this favor for her people, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's like she's not really that.
Well, it's crazy too because it's like the chicken or the egg. What came first? Because Timothy had visions of her. I don't know if he struggles with the idea that does he love her because he had to love her, or does he love her because he like loves her? You know?
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like he actually loved her, but I think once they met, I feel like she had this impression of like he's just a boy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she wasn't impressed by him when they met.
yeah, I really like that about Zendaya too, because like she didn't see him as a messiah, right? Like she didn't fall in love with him because like of the status. She was just like, oh, I like him. You know, like he's a cool guy. He's a cool kid. Also the plot twist of where he's like, I'm gonna take your daughter's hand, and then they just like pan to Zendaya. She's like, I'm like, damn, they did her dirty.
It was heartbreaking.
So do you think Zendaya is going to get revenge?
On who?
Like, she's going to try to get revenge on... Like, she's going to make it her mission to kill the Messiah now.
Like, so it's hard for me to talk about a sequel just because I know what happens. I like to spoil it for myself. But since I spoiled it for myself, I'll ask the question. Do you think we get a sequel? And what do you guys think the sequel's going to be?
100% we get a sequel.
Yeah, of course.
But I don't know what the sequel is going to be because Dennis said it's going to be completely different.
It is different. Like, trust me, I'm telling you right now, the second book is crazy. And I'm telling you right now, if you've seen Star Wars, you know what's going to happen. So that's a spoiler right there. But just imagine your character, you know what happens in the past and in the future. Like you have to like live with that, you know? Like you have to live with knowing, you know? So like I feel like Paul is gonna have to like realize, like I feel like he's gonna put a lot of weight on his shoulders for like, oh, I'm gonna have to like do a lot of shit. That's why he also took the daughter's hand, because I felt like he had to, you know, like
he had seen it before.
But yeah, dude, I felt bad for Zendeya's character. I was like, damn, bro, you're really gonna do it like that? Like you can't just like not do it.
I know you know what happens, but what do you think about like his sister? Like, because obviously like his mom can communicate with her daughter like in the womb, right? But then they show a short clip of her when she's like
That's what
older.
I'm saying. That was so random. We saw Anya Taylor. What's her name?
Johnson.
Oh,
I love her.
yeah. And
She's
dude,
a
that
very
was
actress.
honestly that was the most random clip I've ever seen. Like, it was
You
like,
know what I hate about watching movies with Daniel? He doesn't recognize actors at all.
I told her as soon as I saw her, I was
all.
like, dude, that's Anya.
I did me too. I was like,
You're
Daniel.
like, we know who she is.
And Daniel's like, who's that? And I was like,
You're like,
you remember the menu?
yeah.
He's like,
Or the Queen's Gambit.
Oh, yeah, Queen's Gambit.
Gambit.
Last
like,
night, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that is. I think that is her.
Like, how do you not recognize people, dude?
But it's crazy that she was just in it for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
That's how much do you think she got paid for that? A couple billion?
Yeah, for sure.
No, dude. I think they told her, "Hey, look, you're gonna be in there for 5 seconds. We just need to set you up for the third movie."
But everyone knows who she is, so she definitely made some money off of that. Because I was excited too.
It's 190 million, dude.
You're like, but like, I just don't understand why you would. Okay, I do understand if they make a sequel and she's like a major part of it. Is she a major part of it? You told me the sister.
No, because it's a vision of she's gonna tell him something important in the next book. That's what I know.
Oh, okay. That's what you know. Okay. I guess she's important. So I'm assuming, and that's what I also love, because I told her when we watched the first movie, I'm like, hey, just to let you know, Zendaya's not in this movie a lot.
So is there a big time skip?
I'm assuming. I'm assuming that's also why they're waiting to make the third movie, because they want Timothee Chamalet to age. But he's already old, so like I think that's just how he's gonna look like until like 50 or 60.
It's a few years, they said.
Yeah.
Until the next one.
Yeah, I don't think Timothy can like age up as much as he like.
They should just not use any CGI.
Yeah.
And makeup just
Yeah, just make him look a little.
no, like just let him walk in like after he wakes up, you know, bedhead and everything.
But that's cool to know. I'm really excited for the third movie if they make it.
I think they will make it.
Yeah,
I hope
they will too. Because it's
Considering
gonna
the
make a bunch of money and how popular it is.
Yeah.
So
Considering it's already at over 100 million for the first weekend, that's a good sign.
Do you think with like the Dune popcorn, do you think movies will start doing this more, that where they want to become a meme? Because I feel like becoming a meme really helps. Like with like Despicable Me and like that movie, the Minions became $1 billion just because people like dressed up because that was a meme, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like memes really help movies.
I don't think with
Make
Dune
money.
it's like that.
No, I think the popcorn helped. I think they did that on purpose. There's no way.
That popcorn, I don't think helped that much. I think you're underestimating the first movie. It was still good.
No, it was. I'm just saying that the meme was everywhere.
I know what you're talking about, but like, I don't think it was like, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars.
No, I know, but like, I'm just saying, I'm like.
I mean, honestly, I think just in itself, like Timothee Chamalet and Zendaya being the two main characters, people are gonna watch it because they know who they are. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It is very star-studded. I was sad we didn't see
the way I said that.
Oscar Isaac.
I know, bro. I love Oscar, bro. Oscar's so cool.
I was hoping for like a flashback with him and Timothy or
Me
something.
too, bro. I just want to see him. I love Oscar Isaac.
I was waiting for it, dude. I was like, you know, like how Kylo Ren and Han Solo do like the flashbacks in Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
I was thinking they would do something like that.
Please bring him back. I was really hoping to see Jason Momoa too. I was also hoping he made it. Like I really wish, because Josh Brolin's character made it. You know, they were like, oh, I've been smuggling people. Like, you're alive. I was hoping Jason Momoa's character too would be like, you know, but we saw him die in the first movie, but you know, like just.
He already has so much fame. We don't gotta bring.
I just wanted to see Jason. He's cool. Like over Dave Bautista, you know, I was like, just give me Jason. Yeah, well, I love Dave. You know, he's a WWE guy. He's pretty cool, but his character, honestly, I didn't like as much. I should give him the inside MVP.
Wait, what character are you talking about? Sorry.
Oh, Dave Bautista is the Baron's nephew.
Okay.
Or
yeah.
Nephew.
He doesn't. He only has daughter, right? And it's the Reverend Mother, right? Yeah.
I just want to say I liked the scene at the end when when Timothee Chalamet's like, I'm gonna bring like paradise to you guys, and everyone like bows down to him. It was such a powerful moment. Like I really liked that scene.
Everybody bowed, but Zendaya.
Yeah.
Right. She was like.
Yeah.
You slut.
Yeah. For real.
Oh, I was gonna talk about Austin Butler. You said his character's really weird. I agree. The way they introduced him, where he just like killed him, and then he was like a like playboy type of character. They didn't show that well.
They didn't portray it well.
Yeah.
I mean, she was trying to manipulate him though, right? Like when
the same way they manipulated Paul, they were trying to do that for him. But like they talked about it though. Like the mother or whatever was like, oh, he's a playboy, he's not fit for whatever. But I'm like, you guys like didn't really portray, like they kind of did, but I wish honestly if they started that scene more provocative, like with him, like with the girl or something like that, like I would have gotten it, like with multiple girls or whatever. But like I don't know, he just killed the guy and fed him to the girls or whatever.
Well, that scene too, I read about it a little bit because it was like explaining how she knew what the future was with him, that like she could pretty much conceive a baby with him. Her future was already set up for it.
Who's
that
future?
Makes sense. The girl, the one that I forgot her name.
The priest.
Yeah.
Like one of the reverend.
Yeah. Because she asked him, she was like, "Hey, did you have a baby?" And she's like, "Yeah, it's gonna be a girl."
Yeah. It's like that. She just chose
Dude,
like
but that's what they do, bro. All those girls, bro, toxicas, bro. They're just trying to have babies with these guys to like extend the lineage. I'm like,
job well done.
yeah.
She did it.
I guess. I'm like, she was like, easy job. He's horny.
Easy.
You know what? Horny on the timeline. I'm giving it to Austin Butler's character. Fuck it. Or that girl. I'm like just thinking about.
I mean, men are horny, so.
I'm really surprised. I really also love the scene of the gladiators where that one guy was in drugs. He was like, fuck, now I gotta fight, bro. He's like, nice. It's like the big guys, he was like, easy kill, easy. They're all drugged. Now one guy, he looks up at his uncle. He's like,
no, he's like, you did this.
why?
Yeah.
He's like, I should have killed you people, whatever. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, why is he acting tough, bro? He almost
Apparently
lost
that
to
was
the
like
skinny
the
guy.
last of the Atreides.
Except for Paul.
Except for Paul.
Yeah. And his mom.
And his mom.
Well, no, his mom is a Harkin.
Well, he said, he's like, oh, those are the last 3 Atreides.
Yeah.
He's like, does he know?
Does he know? How are you going to tell him? How are we going to break the news to him?
How did you feel about the battle, like at the end between?
That's also why I gave it an A-. I'm glad you brought it up. I wanted a bigger battle. I did.
Bigger battle?
I liked it.
Like the little battle between Austin and Timothy.
Yeah, because he tricked them. Like I feel like he acted like he was gonna die, but then he didn't. It's like
you should call an ambulance.
Was like, oh my god, the Messiah's gonna die.
Yeah. He was. You were stressing about it. You were like, come on.
Even Josh Brolin's character was like, I can fight for you, my lord, or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, I got this. And yeah, he was like, call an ambulance.
He got him pretty well though.
But not for me.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
Dude, no, we were talking about it. No, Timothy got stabbed in the stomach, and then when he pulled it out in the shoulder. We talked about that.
Yeah.
That was a mistake, continuity mistake.
That was a big continuity.
Big, because I noticed. I don't know how many more people noticed.
We're like, you got stabbed in the shoulder too?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like really noticeable because it was like sticking out.
Yeah, and it was noticeable because he got stabbed like really low, and I was like, what?
Yeah, like I saw that.
Yeah.
I think I didn't see that, but I saw that.
Well, I told her because the last movie we watched, I told her in reality TV they give the people solid glasses because they cut the scenes, so they don't want you to see how much liquid is in the cup because that'll tell you where the conversation had. So now she told me now she looks for that in movies, and the movie we saw last week,
the dolls,
the champagne
driving dolls,
driving dolls. We watched Driving Dolls, and that champagne kept changing amounts.
It was like half, and then it was full, and then it would go down again.
So yeah, I'm just
just little like things that you notice in movies.
Yeah, now that you watch a lot of movies, like you notice that kind of things. You're like,
yeah.
Why? Should they go watch this movie in theaters?
100%.
Absolutely, it's such a great cinematic.
100%.
I love, it is I think it's a cinematic experience, honestly. Go watch it in Prime or Dolby or IMAX. It got a lot more points for me because it was visually stunning. Mm-hmm. Like, legit, the CGI was great. I felt like I was immersed in Dune. I felt like...
The cinematography
It seemed like it was another world. Like, honestly. Like, it did feel like it was another world.
No,
it was just Utah.
I was asking, I was like, I need to Google where they filmed this because, like,
yeah, exactly. Like, it just seems so real. Like, you see some CGI and it's just really cheesy.
Yeah, like, I feel you. And I thought that's how it was gonna be, but it wasn't. No, they just filmed it at the dunes, like here in Colorado.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of, the sand dunes the entire time watching it.
Imagine.
Now I'm gonna go there and do the cool sand walk.
The only that's what also I loved about this movie. It just had those quirks where like the sand walk, like it had its own thing to the movie, you know. Yeah. The one thing I did hate though was that it was so loud. Like the music, the everything. I kept telling them, I was like, what did they say? What did they say?
For me, it was the brightness change. They'd be like in a dark room, and then they'd switch to the desert, and it'd be like,
You're like, nice.
yeah, like that was the one. That was the thing that kept getting me, because it'd be like a scene with the Baron and like Austin Butler, and to be black and white and dark, and then they'd go to the dunes, and it'd be like bright, and you're like, oh shit.
You know, one thing that I forgot to bring up when Timothy said, "You guys know this planet as what was it? What was it?
Arrakis.
Arrakis. Yes, he was telling the people. He was like, "You guys might not know this planet as Arrakis, but in its original language, it's Dune." And I'm like, roll credits.
Yeah. Roll credits.
So like, I'm assuming the planet's called Dune, right? Like that's the planet. Is its original name was Dune?
I don't know. I know that like he is trying to show Zendaya like how his world was and how it was better, like how he had a paradise, you know.
That would rain like every fucking day, and she's like, "What?
Yeah.
It rains
like,
every
rain?
day?"
No, and he was like,
guy's crying.
he's like, yeah, we would just dive in. She's like, you stop. No.
And she's like, "You're playing, like you
that
play
meme?
too much, fool."
The no.
No.
She's like, you dive in. He's like, yeah, it's called swimming.
She's like, "No." Crazy.
You don't know how to swim, huh?
No.
I make fun of him for it all the time.
She's like, "Look at that pool over there. I bet you wish you could get in there, huh?" I bet you wish that was you, huh?
This summer I would be like, you want to go swim? Oh.
Got me.
Push.
Push.
Hilarious. Don't give her ideas.
All right, guys. Well, that was our review of Dune Part 2, starring Timothee Chamalet and Zendeya. Let us know down below in the comments. Do you think this movie deserves a sequel? Are you going to be watching it in theaters, or are you going to be watching it at your house? We'll see you next time.
Adios.
Bye.